Did you know that many stores offer senior citizen discounts? Now, some of these start as young as 50, and some of these don't take effect until you're 60, 62, or 65. They all vary, but there are businesses in almost every niche that offer senior discounts. These are things that we all need to know about and take advantage of as we head towards retirement and living on a smaller income than we're used to. So, the first thing that I want to say is that there are businesses like AARP and AMAC. If you're not familiar with AMAC, they are essentially the more conservative version of AARP. So those two organizations have memberships, and a lot of times they will have a very, very inexpensive option to purchase a membership. So I know recently AARP just had an $11 for 5 years, and they let you add your spouse for free. That is definitely worth it because AARP has a multitude of discounts that you can take advantage of. So first of all, think about joining AARP, AMAC, or both. I've joined both. So that you can take advantage of everything they have to offer. So as far as discounts go, you can find them all over the place. But one of the things I want to talk about first is not to use it if there's a better discount out there. For instance, Kohl's offers 15% off on Wednesdays, only in store, not online, for anyone 60 years and older. I don't use that because I can get a 30% off coupon in the mail very often or find a coupon. So I'm never going to use their 15 because I can get a 30% and save way more. So always look at rules on these. Can you use them on things that are already on sale? I know you can at Kohl's. So that is a good deal if you need something right away. If you don't, I would hold out for the 30% off because that's a way better deal. So let's talk about things like grocery stores. Did you know that even grocery stores offer senior discounts? Picture having a 5, 10, 15% off coupon on every item you buy. Now, again, they may not offer it on things that are already on sale, some may, so you really have to know the store's rules. Also, the things that I'm going to talk about could change tomorrow. So make sure you check before you're counting on these things. Check out the store online. But for instance, if we look at Albertsons, they have a 10% discount for anyone 55 and over the first Wednesday of the month. But the caveat is they only do it in select stores. So you're going to make a list of the stores that you shop in. Do you shop in Albertsons? Do you shop at Publix? Do you shop at, Piggly Wiggly? These stores offer discounts. So only write down the stores that you actually shop in that you have, and then go online and check and see what they offer. So some of the others, for instance, are the big stores. Harris Teeter offers 5% off on Thursdays if you're 60 and over. Hy-Vee, the discount actually varies, it says. You have to be 55 or older, and it's usually Thursdays. But again, you're going to have to check these at your local store. Piggly Wiggly, 5%, 60 and over on Wednesdays. Publix, 5%, 60 and over Wednesdays at their, again, select locations. Now, there's a lot of others. Fred Meyer, their discount is 10 to 15%, which is even bigger. And that's for 55 and older, first Tuesday of the month. Again, you're going to check your local store to make sure that these discounts are offered at your local store and the rules that apply around the discounts. But wow, how cool is that? You can save 10, even at one store, 15% off your groceries. That's awesome. And you can still use coupons. I don't think any of them prevent that. Again, check. But how great is that? Yeah, all these little savings that we can take advantage of as we get older add up tremendously to help us live on a lower income. Now let's talk about retail stores where the fun stuff is. So I'm talking about clothes or craft stores or kind of like small department store type stores. So we already talked about Kohl's and we've discussed that, but Ross, I actually love Ross. I have found some really nice things in Ross for way less than you would normally pay. Way less, just based on the nature of that store. They sell things that are either overstock from another larger store, or they just aren't selling well in another store. So they transport them to the Ross stores, sell them there, and they sell them for a lot less than you would normally pay. So I will always start with a Ross or a TJ Maxx. Um, those, you're going to have to spend some time. You're going to have to pick through stuff, but it's worth it. So Ross offers 10% off if you are 55 and over on Tuesdays. And again, you got to make sure that you are checking your local Ross to make sure they're part of this. Belk, 5% off for 62 and plus on Tuesdays. Then let's talk about thrift stores. Thrift stores, you're not going to find as much. But here and there, you're going to find some really, really cute decorations, sometimes an awesome painting, or sometimes some beautiful glassware, a vase, depending where the store is and what kind of clientele they have donating to it. Once in a while, you can find um, a nice piece of clothing. I don't find much there, but other things you can find at Goodwill, Salvation Army, thrift stores. Both of those stores offer senior discounts. Goodwill is 10 to 25%. It varies. And it also varies 55, 60, that varies as well, as does the day of the week. Based on the location. You are definitely going to have to find out the rules at the thrift store you shop at. Now, Salvation Army thrift store offers 10% off. And again, age varies and it varies by location. Now, are you a crafter? Do you love crafts? Now, I don't really do crafts because I work full-time plus, but I love them. I love when other people do them. They're amazing. And my 8-year-old granddaughter loves them. So every time I go to visit them, I bring her a craft that she and I can do. So stores like Michael's, 10% off for 55 and up every day. And also there's also Joann's Fabrics, and they're 20% off for 55 or 60 plus on their senior discount day. Again, varies. They have a little checklist of your stores you shop at, what their policy is. Doing a little bit of research can save you, imagine what you can save over a year by taking advantage of these things, as long as you don't buy what you don't need. That is always the trick, especially to people who love to save money like we do. The trick is to not go, oh my gosh, that is such a good deal, I have to buy that, if you don't need it. Anyway, that's another good thing. Now, pharmacies. How about pharmacies? Did you know that both Walgreens and Rite Aid offer senior discounts? Now, Walgreens offers 20% off on Seniors Day, and it's usually the first day of the month. Or they have a discount for AARP members. Again, another great reason to have that membership. Rite Aid, that you get 5 times the rewards points. So, on Wednesdays, or it might be the first Wednesday of the month, you're going to have to check your Rite Aid. That's great, but that's not a discount. That's just encouraging you to spend more money. So that one I don't love as much. Did you know that even restaurants have senior discounts? You probably did, because I think that's the most popular and most well-known senior discount. But a lot of chains like Denny's, IHOP, Outback Steakhouse, Bonefish Grill, even ones like Papa John's, they offer senior discounts. So they can be anywhere from 10 to 20%. They also offer discounts for people with AARP membership. So another good reason to have that. Maybe you decide that we're going to go out to dinner once a month, but we're still going to be saving money and we're going to live within our budget, and our going out to dinner budget is X amount of dollars. Well, you can maybe lessen that, or even just make it go further by paying attention to what restaurants offer these discounts, what their menu prices are to begin with, which days they are. The other thing, always, always, always when you leave the house, bring your driver's license, which you should anyway, and always bring your AARP or AMAC card. Make sure those are always in your wallet with you, so that if something pops up and it's a surprise, you're prepared to take advantage of that discount. Did you know that Amazon Prime offers a 50% discount off their membership, their yearly membership, if you qualify for government assistance? It's not age-based, but if you're on government assistance, you should look into that and see if you can get that membership. That being said, that is probably not the best place to shop to get the best prices, unless you're shopping on Prime Day or there's an incredible special. Typically, because of the nature of the free shipping and everything else, they're not the least expensive place to get products, but always worth looking at, always worth checking out. The other thing with that Amazon Prime membership, I have an Amazon Prime membership. One of the things I like about that membership is that we have Amazon Prime Video. And that gives us access to a lot of things we can watch. We just recently got rid of DirecTV. It is way too expensive. There are way too many commercials, and it drove me bonkers because there are way too many channels, and you just spend half your time sifting through stuff. I won't say what I really call it, but it wasn't worth it anymore. I'm going to do another video to tell you how we placed it for a year for less than the cost of a month of DirecTV. But that's for another video. So there are other organizations and services that will also offer you a discount. So get in the habit of asking, do you offer a senior citizen discount? Do you offer an AARP or AMAC discount? The other things, if you are a teacher, even retired, if you are a first responder, if you are a veteran, if you are in any of those categories, whether you're retired or not, always ask for a discount everywhere you go with everything you buy, including insurance, everything. Ask for it for everything. Don't ever forget. So in those cases, make sure that you carry your identification that shows that you are a veteran or you are a first responder or a teacher, any of those categories. Make sure you have that with you because you can also get a discount in those cases as well, a lot of times. And I guess the last thing is to remember to check the policies. They change often. So keep your little spreadsheet. These are the grocery stores I use. These are the pharmacies I use. These are the department stores / clothing stores I use. These are the memberships I have. Check their discounts and the rules to have them. And you know what? These change often. So you're going to have to check several times a year, I think, to make sure they're still in effect. But once you build that little spreadsheet, you can even print it, take it with you, save it on your phone, whatever you want to do. Make sure you always have it and make sure you always ask. In addition, remember, you've always got to have your driver's license. You've always got to have your AARP and AMAC card, either or, whichever you have. AARP tends to have more of the discounts. Also, if you're a first responder, teacher, veteran, have that proof with you as well and never go out of the house without those things. Now, I'm sure there are a million other discounts that I haven't even touched on yet. If you know of some great ones, can you please leave them in the comments? And I want to thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next episode.